Hi guys, I'm here to help you with your 2.1 and 2.2 worksheets in your workbook today. So to start, just to let you know where we're at, I'm looking at my computer so I can read. It is Jamestown Part 1, A New Life. So the questions I'm going to read aloud to you, I'll break them down just so you know what goes there, and it's up to you to fill in those blanks. So the first question asks, why were Tom and Jane sent to Jamestown? Okay, so you are going to look back in the story that you have read in your workbook, and you're going to answer the question in a full sentence. Why were they sent to Jamestown? The answer is in the text. So when you look back in the book, you're going to find those names. Those are the key words, Jane and Tom, and the word Jamestown. And then the question is why? Why were they sent there? Write at least 1, 2, or 3 sentences why, just depending on how many reasons they've given. All right, make sure they are complete sentences. Don't just write this, one word, no. You want to make sure that you include they were sent to Jamestown because, and then continue on with the answer. The second question is why were children needed to help families in Jamestown? Okay, so if they were sent there, you ask them why they go, and then while they were there, what did they do to help the families that were there? Again, give about 2 sentences telling me why they needed help. All right, pretend I haven't read the story before and I'm asking that question and you're answering it to me very specifically. All right, and don't forget to include the page number where you found your information. Okay, now question 3 asks, this is a multiple choice question, the words that best describe Tom and Jane at the beginning of the chapter are, so take note of who they are and what their characters do, okay? We're trying to describe them in a certain way. So take note of maybe how they're speaking and what they look like and what they say. And then those 2 words that you see in your choices, because A says warm and comfortable, B, dirty and sad, C, happy and healthy, or D, old and worn out. So take note, look at those, look for those keywords in the text and then go back and circle your answer or type it in. And then 4 is write the main idea of this chapter. So what is this whole chapter about? What is the author trying to tell us by using all of these sentences and details in the story? Okay, so that is 2.1. 2.2, we're moving on, and this is a mixed review, comparative, and superlative adjectives. Now, if you were in my class, we talked about adverbs, which are describing a verb. Well, adjectives are kind of a describing word, but it's more of a how. So in the first question, it says in parentheses, busy. That is the key word you're going to put in the line, okay, but you're going to change it. It says 3rd graders are blank, then 2nd graders. So you're going to have 3 choices between the word busy, all right? The 3 choices are busy, busier, and busiest. And you're going to choose which ones that would seem to make sense in that sentence. So let's try all 3 and see how it sounds. So you have 3rd graders are busy than 2nd graders. Nah, doesn't really work. 3rd graders are busier than 2nd graders. That sounds like it works. 3rd graders are busiest than 2nd graders. Doesn't really work. So I think the word busier would be the choice in that sentence. So you're going to go down. So I'll read all the questions to you so that way you guys can hear it. All right, the word in number 2 is angry. And it says, that child is the blank child I've ever seen. 3, the word is colorful. The paint on that house is blank than the paint on your house. All right, moving on to 4. The word is interesting. My hamster is blank than your hamster. Now that's a specific word right there. I'm going to point it out because the word interesting can be changed to interesting, interesting-er, or interestingest. Okay, we're going to add a word before that word interesting. We're going to include either more or most. Okay, now think of the word more. More is going to kind of be similar to adding at the end of a sentence, like busier. More would be kind of the equivalent of that. If we were to say busiest, we would use the word most. Most is very similar. In fact, you can remember by including the ST for busiest and most, and then for more has an R at the end, okay? Because those will be similar. So I'll give you an example. My hamster is more interesting than your hamster, or my hamster is most interesting than your hamster. It seems like I'm picking up a pattern. When we see the word than, like we're comparing something, we're gonna use the word more instead. So we're gonna go, my hamster is more interesting than your hamster, because we're trying to move it above someone else. Not the most, but just above the other person's hamster. Okay, so include that word, more or most. 5, in parentheses it says bad. I have the blank headache I've ever had. 6 is red. Your hair is the blank of anyone in your whole family. 7, persistent. My brothers and I are blank than my cousins. 8, little. We had blank rain than the meteorologist predicted today. 9, refreshing. That pool is the blank pool in the whole neighborhood. 10, fine. That was the blank movie I've ever seen. 11, clear. These instructions are blank now that you've helped me. 12, grand. You're the blank friend I've ever had. All right, now just to go back, try either, if you were to write the word clear, clearer, clearer, or clearest does work, okay? So these questions are clearer now, or clearest now that you've helped me, okay? That would work. But sometimes words that end with ing too, like refreshing on number 9, we're not gonna say refreshinger or refreshingest, okay? Think of how it sounds. You're going to add a word before refreshing. It's either gonna be more or most, okay? Well, that happens a lot with ing words too. Just wanted to point that out. Okay, now for the write a sentence using the word in parentheses. So this is where you get to be creative. I want you guys to create your own sentences. This is part of your creative writing. You're gonna write something that includes the word in parentheses. So 1 is the word better. Try to use that word and change it a bit. Don't just keep it as better, all right? Keep it, maybe change it to bestest, okay? For number 2 is most effective. All right, so use the word most effective in the sentence. Remember, effective means that that thing was particularly successful at something. All right, like this was the most effective when doing this, okay? Number 3, more energetic. You guys know what energetic means. 4, more worried. Ooh, I wanna know what someone's worried about. And then, oh, we have another one, more energetic. Apparently they listed that twice. I guess you guys get to write 2 sentences about being energetic. And 6 is more. Okay, so just more anything. You can choose. That's kind of a wild card. All right, so hopefully this was helpful to you. Happy writing. Hopefully this week will go by really well for you guys. Bye.